Hey there, Orlando here with another contemplation of the jinkies that are transiting us. And it's the last hours of the transit of the 55th jinky with freedom as a gift, and the 59th jinky with intimacy as a gift. So I've been writing big contemplation on these two jinkies, and I want to share some ideas that arose. Um, they aren't the perfect representation of the jinkies. It's like what these two jinkies transmitted to me in this period. So the first thing for me, and it's I think this is one of the most important revelations in the last months for me, or years. I don't know when it started, but it's about being free, and being free is just being vulnerable. It's not having to defend my identity or anything from anyone. It's like defense down because we all have defenses and they are very good. We have natural defenses, and they do a very good job. We don't really have to worry much about them. Uh, but when we put extra layers of defense mechanisms or just walls or something like that, uh, we are just hiding from reality. We are just hiding from the truth that is in every moment. So this is the most important thing because for me, yeah, maybe for you too, if you're into the jinkies, because being free is being vulnerable, being open, stop defending, recognizing your humanity, recognizing your shadow patterns, your gift patterns, your light side, recognizing how you feel, who you think you are, and who you are becoming, recognizing that you are nothing and everything in the same time. So freedom is a way. Yeah, maybe freedom is the way. But what is very important about freedom, the 55th jinki, is that freedom comes gradually and it's always temporary. This is also what came up in the contemplations right now, that freedom is temporary. Because freedom comes when I'm going to use metaphorical terms and or analogy. I'm going to use an analogy like video games. When we get to the next level, we are free from the level that we just finished, and we feel this freedom inside of us. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, energy just rising, but challenges come very fast in that video game, and so freedom gets away for a bit. And I mean freedom as a gift, because freedom as a CD is always there. Yeah, it's really tricky with this too, because the 55th jinki has the gift of freedom and also the CD of freedom. So it's like freedom with a capital F, if you want, as a CD, and freedom that is all around. But freedom in our life as a gift, because the gift is about our life, our human life. It comes and goes, and it's very good. It is like that because it keeps us engaged in this body. Because otherwise we won't need this body, I feel. So we have to accept that freedom is temporary, and we get challenges in our life to rise our level of perception. David Hawkins made a map of consciousness that is extraordinary, and it just shows us the level of human perception and how we climb on that. And I felt those steps inside of me, and where we stabilize and how we fall and how we get up, because um, people that want freedom to be forever, I feel they are just rushing through to death. And I felt this inside of me, just wanted, the end result, yeah, the destination, but not the road. So freedom is like the destination uh, when we rise that level of perception, but it can't be forever in this body. It's just like an accomplishment. And as we rise and we stabilize our level of perception higher and higher, life just becomes easier, because our mind won't interfere as much, because our mind will accept things more and more as our level of perception rises. And so we can, it's not like challenges won't be there, but will be more, will welcome them more than before. And of course there are challenges and challenges. There are challenges that right now because when we say, hey, I'm at the end of the road, yeah, I can take challenges from life. Any challenge, life will really, I'm sorry to say this word, punish you. It isn't really punishing. It's just responding to your intention. So I'm very careful of that, because I've seen this. It is vanity, the 12th jinki. Yeah, we feel that we're at the end, but we aren't. So there are challenges that I really don't want in my life right now, because I feel okay, I'm not really ready and don't have the tools to really get through them safely. Yeah, because if I put my fighter suit on, I have the 38th Jinki as my IQ, the gate of the Jinki of the fighter, and I can really put my fighter suit on and struggle through this. But in the end, I've seen the same result. Even if I got through that challenge, I got at the end more wounded than I was before. So what I learned in these years, in the last years, is and through Jinkies, is just to accept my limitations in the now, and I accept that okay, I can struggle through things, but I'm not ready for all things. So I have to take them gradually. So freedom comes gradually, and and people who look for freedom look like I want freedom. Yeah, like there is this deep yearning inside of them, because we all have this yearning. But looking obsessively for freedom is just a defense mechanism for those people, so they won't open up, so they won't be vulnerable, and they won't really accept that. And I've seen people with the 55th Jinki act like this. They put this defense mechanism, like looking for freedom, and just going through life into this journey, but not really opening up, not really being vulnerable. And I've seen people in the spiritual communities that do this, and they get up really sad. They get up really disappointed, because they feel freedom for a while, and then they don't. Just they go to a retreat, they feel freedom, and then they have to get back to their life, and freedom isn't there anymore, and that feeling is missing, and so they are just being dependent on that freedom, on that illusion, because I feel that freedom is an illusion. This gift is an illusion. I think all of the gifts are an illusion, like all of the shadows are an illusion. But this is the illusion, because it's like the Joker in the pack, as Richard pointed it out in one of his contemplations of the 55th Jinki. So this is me quoting Richard with the Joker in the pack. And in my contemplations, this also arose the illusion, and I said, okay, freedom is an illusion. And then I connected it with what Richard said, that freedom is like the Joker in the pack. So it's very important how we use this Joker. Yeah, because if we get into extremes like the nihilists or the the people that are acting through life like I'm enlightened and I'm very good, the two sides, the ones that say, hey, everything is pointless, and the other side that says everything is so divine, and but they don't really feel it. So when going into extremes, you can't really feel life, and you can't really use this Joker, this freedom, because when we get stuck in life, I feel we can use this freedom to get us unstuck, and we can use this Joker that is the 55th Jinki. And I will tell you how I feel we can use it in until the end of this contemplation, because I'm going to talk about the victim state, because from that victim state, the victimization, the shadow of the 55th Jinki, we can really see how we can use the Joker. So another thing until we get to that is like struggling is a choice. Is really a choice. Struggling and oppression, and every shadow becomes a choice, because mastery of life comes from living with limited effort, with let's say no effort, but we all know it's like not like no effort. But mastery, to get to mastery, requires small steps and requires repetition and perseverance. We're learning how to master life. So we're struggling until that. We are in victim state until that. We are in all those shadow states, so we can learn. So what happens is people give up too quickly. Yeah, because they want to make a change, like make a very important change in their life, and their mind, their internal chatter is like, hi, you're not too good to do this. So or like yeah, you really need support for this, you can't do it all alone, or you can't do it with others, or stuff that just makes us stop from getting out of victimization states, so victim states. So people give up too quickly because they don't really want to adapt. They don't want to open up to change because they will feel hurt. They will feel this hurt, this emotional hurt. So this is the victim mentality. This is the shadow of the victimization. And I feel this victimization comes when we stop. Yeah, we stop because of our internal processes or internal chatter that says, you are shit, So this is how we are dishonest. The 59th Jinki's shadow, the programming partner of the 55th. We are dishonest when we choose to be a victim, or we persecute or save others. Yeah, because a victim has these other two roles integrated in them. The victim is also a persecutor and is also a savior. These roles comes up based on situations. So I want to tell something about this. We all endure, and I'm going to use a very harsh word, torture in our life. Yeah, but it doesn't mean we have to feel a victim because we endure that torture. We endure phonic torture. We're enduring visual torture. We're sometimes enduring physical torture. It's important in those moments how we perceive ourselves. So if I'm living in a big city in Bucharest in Romania, it's like, I don't know, like 3 million people right now here, and it's very crowded. And if I go outside, it's like phonic torture, and it's noises and stuff like that. if I get into the victim state in that situation, I won't really realize anything, but just stopping my process. Maybe by accepting that phonic torture, I will really understand that, and I will really see what my need is. Maybe my need is to have more quiet time with myself, or maybe my need is really to move from the city because it doesn't really suit me. But not taking that decision from the victim state that blames, I blame this these people from Bucharest, and because they are so loud and their cars and honking, and because if I take that decision from the victim state, what I will produce as a result is I will wherever I will go, or whatever decision I will have, I will take my victim state into that decision. So I will be a victim again and again and again and again and again. Whatever choice I will have, if I don't step out of this victim state, is I will take my victim state wherever. If I would be in a perfect situation, I will surely become a victim right there. And there are people that want a very good relationship, a very good intimate relationship with another person, because they felt the other people in the past were not so good for them. And if they come into the new relationship from a victim state, even if that relationship has a very good potential, they will surely become a victim there, and they will put up a show, because a victim is the very best of manipulators. Now, a victim is the manipulator, because this is a strategy. A victim has the strategy of being a victim to get other people not to adapt, and to let things be like they were. So victims, the people that are perceiving themselves as victims or acting as victims, are just manipulating. Because I'm telling you again, there are people in very bad situations that don't perceive themselves as victims, and people that are in very good situations and perceive themselves as victims. So it's just perception. The victim state is not something that the outside does to you. It's how you perceive reality. And if you perceive reality that a change is bad, and people want to hurt you and stuff like that, you are just becoming a very good manipulator. Because you don't want other people to adapt, to change, and you try your best to stop them from changing. And stagnation is like death. Stagnation is just refusing life energy into your body. So please contemplate this. If you didn't contemplate, a victim is the very best of manipulators. So this is why saving a victim, a person that perceives himself or herself as a victim, doesn't really help, but make things worse. Because if you save a victim, that victim will just change its role, and maybe be a persecutor, or I don't know, just choosing to be a victim in the future. So freedom is just having the right perception, because you are open to all possibilities. Yes, you are intimate with life. Intimacy, the gift of the 59 Jinki, is about opening up. We are penetrating situations all the time. The 59 Jinki is a Jinki of penetration. So we are penetrating emotionally other people. We are penetrating life with our decisions. We have these two choices. We penetrate life and other people by being open with our openness, or we penetrate them with our defenses up. Because when we do this with our defenses up, it's really creating communities and societies of people that don't listen to each other, and people that can't really function as a whole. Uh, so the victim, I'm going to tell you two other ideas about the victim. They're very important. The victim just hopes. The victim is a person that hopes, but hopes without a solid foundation. Because it's like, if I would win the lottery, how happy I would be, or if I would be in a good relationship, how happy I would be, So, but doesn't have a really solid foundation to be in a good relationship, or to win the lottery, to really know how to handle that money, but just hopes without a solid foundation. And this makes the victim being very disappointed with anything that comes, because if, let's say, that very good relationship comes up, and that person that really stays in the victim state, it will be that person will be really disappointed with that relationship. Whatever will happen in that relationship will not be very good, because the victim booby traps everything. Yes, and when you fall into their traps, they blame you for that. Why did you do that? Why did you, they just, or a person may shout at you, and when you shout back to them, they say, why are you shouting to me? I didn't do it, like this. And this is all an act. I'm sorry to say. It's all an act, it's all a strategy, and most of the times it's an unconscious strategy. Yeah, victims are really sneaky, and I feel we all of us get into that state. Because it's a shadow. We can't really escape shadows. But we can use shadows to our advantage. And how we use the Joker is like saying stop to the victim role gradually. We won't be able, of course, to say stop and to be this perfect person from the next day, but to stop and to really catch us when we are in the victim state, and then say, okay, I'm not going to play this role, because if I play this role, I really won't get anything out of it. And people that play this victim game don't really see the what they are creating, and they are creating more. I'm sorry to say, it's a more shittier life. Yeah, I really like this word, shitty. I really like some curse words in English. Yeah, they are really, I don't know. They sound good. Yeah, so they will have a more shittier life, and they don't realize it. So when we stop playing the victim, when we stop playing the persecutor, when we stop playing the savior that wants to save everyone, we are making things better. Because if we stop saving other people, we let other people and just support them, encouraging them, not saving them, supporting. We have to support each other more to function better, but not saving other people, like doing their work for them. We can't do that. Yeah, but we can encourage them. You really can do this. You have the power inside. This we can, of course, do that. So because when we save them, we just we aren't helping them. We are making them dependent. We are just creating minions, like in Despicable Me movie, and we are like Gru, the the one that had all the minions. If you didn't see the movie, yeah. So we have to really see ourselves in the moment, and we have to accept hurt. We have to accept that sometimes life hurts. It's not bad. This hurt won't kill us. It's just uncomfortable for the moment. And I've seen in my process, and as months and years went by, like if I fall, I would get up really fast. So if I'm in a situations like in other periods of time took me months to get out of them, now it takes me like hours or a day, and it's really incredible how the gift stage just arise from the inside when I just stop to the victim, and I really assume, okay, I'm hurting right now. I'm a human being. Of course, hurt is part of the game. It's like it's all a game. It's an illusion. And when we get better with this, we will be masters of our body, and I feel, will be able. Some people are able to stop hurt, to stop the pain receptors, because okay, I don't need to hurt right now because I've been past this lesson and I don't have, and we really can do this. We really can have mastery of our bodies, but mastery takes time and takes perseverance, takes dedications. If we stop because our victim mentality says that, we yeah. So people are coming into the Gene Keys like, oh, there's so much truth in my profile I've seen, and after some months they get back into their patterns and they forget all about Gene Keys or other tool. Gene Keys is like a tool, a very powerful one, but it's just a tool. So people just when they encounter this kind of tools and they feel they will help them, they just drop out, yeah, in very quickly, and of course they won't get the results. And if we want very fast results, we are just a victim that hopes without a stable foundation. Yeah, so the stable foundation is like putting stop to the victim mentality when we catch ourselves, and not to blame ourselves. Yeah, I've seen this in my life and how I do this right now. If I catch myself being a victim, I just accept and put some love into myself. And um, um, you know my girlfriend says, how you are doing this, how yesterday or 2 days ago when I was speaking with her about yesterday when I was speaking with her about my contemplation, I say, how are you doing these things? Because I told her one of my challenges that was like for a few hours, and she didn't really see that. She didn't really see that on my face and in my energy field, because I was just accepting and loving myself. Now, and when I did that, of course I wasn't a victim, and of course she didn't feel I wasn't having a very good time with myself right there, and I was just falling into the victim, but I didn't express it outside, and I just said, okay, I'm putting just a love and acceptance. So but for me, this is years and years of work, and gradually, and and in 2018 I had in May 2018 I had a really important revelation. And it was a very important revelation because in May, because it was on the birthday of my father, and my father has the 55th Gene Key as his pearl. Uh, and the pearl is very important. It's like I feel that it's like what we inherit from our parents or the people that raised us, and what we give as inheritance to our children. That I feel that sphere is like because I feel it's like our behavior. But I will get I don't want to speak more about this because I will just get into like 10 or 20 minutes about it. I know myself very well in that. So yeah, in the 9th May of 2018 I had this revelation, this very important revelation, that I just could feel and see all the victim patterns in my life and everyone's life, and it was like just and like in the Matrix, I know kung fu. And from that moment, for me was a game of recognizing them. So I'm getting better at this recognizing the victim pattern game as time goes. Because if I had that revelation, doesn't mean I got perfect. Just I had that revelation, and I just could see the victim patterns better. It didn't mean I didn't fall into them, and that I won't fall into them. But how long I will fall into them, yeah, this is the choice. This is the joker in the pack. How long will you stand and not see your victim pattern? Because once you see your victim pattern, yeah, you'll see, okay, I'm creating a shitty situation right now. Why am I, why am I doing this to me? Why am I punishing myself? Yeah. So I'm going to leave you with this. And I'm going to leave you with a recommendation to practice vulnerability, sensibility, opening up, intimacy. Now, be honest with yourself. Be transparent with yourself. Yeah, be free, because we are free. We have all this freedom. Yeah, the freedom is all around as a city, as an essence. But we, like all cities, if we would live into the cities, we'll just I think evaporate. Yeah, so cities just come up to illuminate our life, illuminate us in some moments. Because I don't really believe in perfect illuminations. I think we illuminate. Every person has these moments of illumination, so or of enlightening. Yeah, but we don't really are ready to perceive them. So if we perceive them, we see, okay, I just got more enlightened. Yeah, and of course, sometimes this enlightenment is more profound. It stays like hours or days, not like moments or yeah. But everyone with his or her dharma, it's perfect. It's perfect in this imperfect world. So practice this vulnerability, practice this opening up, and if you open up, you'll be free, and you won't need freedom. Yeah, we don't really need freedom because we are free. We're free in perception, but we're learning. Yeah, so be good with yourself, and of course, be good to others, not to save them. Just accept their freedom, cherish their freedom, honor their freedom. And in the end, I want to tell you something that I'm cooking with my really good friend and mentor, Cătălin Pârvu. Some of you know him from his very good work with the Jinkies and mostly with the lines. I was planning with him to make for the international Jinkies community course about the circuitry, circuitry of life, the 64 Jinkies, and put them into their circuit, just mixing with some human design and telling the aroma of every Jinki. Like the 55th Jinki is an individual Jinki, and the 59th Jinki is a tribal Jinki, and how this impacts our contemplations. But until then, I've talked to him and I said, okay, let's do this introductory webinar of the 6 lines, and we are planning to do, because we've done some webinars in Romania, and it will be a paid webinar. It will be a fee, but not a very high fee, and we'll also get like scholarships and or I don't know, reductions for people that can't afford the sum. That isn't I feel it will be like 50 euros, and we're planning a 4-hour information packed webinar about how to use the 6 lines and to really contemplate every sphere of your hologenetic profile. So we're going to get into the essence of the 6 lines, because we're in the last 5 years we've been contemplating the heck out of these lines. So Cătălin has put out some incredible contemplations out there about them, and I've been putting my own contemplations. I've been using them in my programs in Romania. that I'm doing. So I feel we can, in 4 hours, we can like talk like 30 minutes for each line, and really help you to feel, the aroma of them. When it will be, we don't know. Maybe in March. Yeah, we'll tell you more when we open our website. It will be the7years.com, or I don't know if we'll use another website. We're working on that, and we'll let you know when it will be. If you are interested in that, great. Yeah, let us know. Let me know. Maybe a private message or a comment. And if this contemplation helped you, please let me know. Or if you have questions, or you like to share something about it, yeah, let me know. Yeah, it's great. Okay, I wish you freedom. Bye bye.